Okay, so now this is great, but if we were to render this, we really aren't matching the lighting. We don't have any shadows and whatnot, like on fill or on these trees or anything else. So now we have to put in the lighting. So I'll go T for top, and I'm going to go over here, and in my Create tab, I'm going to go ahead to the lights. I'm going to make sure that standard is selected, and I'm just going to give myself an Omni light. And if we look back here again, here back at camera, you can see the lights coming from over here, right? So back to top. And so I'll place my light right, let's see where that bright spot is, right there, right in front of that. And then we'll go F for front, and I'll pull that up, and you can see it's right where that light is coming from. So that's nice. And, oh, by the way, let's see, I could probably get those branches too. There it is. And if I go in here, because trust me, it is just good to get rid of stuff that you do not need. Okay, and delete. Okay. Enough of that. Anyway, so I've got this light here, and so go back into our camera mode, and with the light selected, first off, I'm going to change that from Omni to Omni Sun, capital S-U-N. So I've got Omni Sun, and I do want the shadows on. And let's take a look at that. That's not too bad at all, but we need a bit of an ambient light here. So let's see, back at top here, and I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to grab this one right here, shift copy it on over, and so maybe something up front like this, and I'm going to call that Omni, capital A-M-B for ambient. Okay, and front, let's go ahead and bring that down, maybe a little bit. Okay, so now whereas the first one, the ambient sun, we want the shadows on for that. The other ambient light right here, we don't want the shadows on. Back to our camera again, let's take a look at that. Well, the problem is that he's too bright. We've worked with ambient lights before, so we know selecting the ambient light, what I'm going to do is I'm going to really lower the intensity. Maybe 0.1. Instead of it being 1, it's just going to be 0.1. Render that. Okay, that's starting to look pretty good. Maybe we could make this just a little bit more magical through here. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to change this color on the ambient. And let me see, a little bit of yellow, a little bit of green, a little bit more yellow, a little bit more green. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Let's give that a try. Let's see what that looks like. Ooh, that's starting to look kind of cool. Kind of cool. Back to our ambient sun. That's not bad. I think I'm going to raise it. I want this to be a little bit stronger through here. So let's make it, let's try 2 and see what happens. That might be too strong. We might dial it back. Oh, that's not bad at all. Look at that. That looks pretty good as a matter of fact. So let's go ahead and we'll make our little video from that. Why not? You know, we could mess around with this forever and ever, but we'll keep it simple for now. Save all that creativity for when you're doing my simple background scene. Okay, So from there, we'll just go from single to active time segment. Okay, so it's 180. And we want that to be that HDTV in medium definition, so that's good. You got to come down here to file, because if you're doing an AVI, which is what we're going to do to make a video, and you don't do a file, it's going to go through all the long process of rendering, and then you'll get nothing. So you got to make sure you give it a file. So go ahead. We'll go to our file and find the T drive and to art and to your period, whatever that is, and we're in project 4 still. And so project 4 simple outdoor scene. And let's see in here. I'll go paste. Oh, I still have that, so that's good. So I've got my Kuhn Robert project 4C simple outdoor scene. That's perfect. And then I'll go down here to the AVI. It's the very first one. And I'll say save. And it should give me this codec thing. Make sure you're on MJPEG. Otherwise, it will look like it's working, but it won't be. And finally, I'll say render. Now, the only thing about rendering is that it does take a little while. So if you're at the very end of class, probably not a good idea. Okay, so we'll start rendering it. And in a few moments, I will give you the results of that. Okay, I'm back, and I've gone ahead and rendered. Now, it took about 17 minutes to render this, and this has very simple lighting, and it has very few polygons as far as, we cut out as many we could from the trees and stuff like that. So you could imagine, even at, in only 6 seconds, and it still took about 17 minutes. So anyways, you got to keep it simple. You got to keep it simple, especially with the too many trees, too much foliage and stuff like that. They'll really wreck things out. Okay, but let's go ahead and take a look at the results. So I am in art, and I turned it into the project 4 folder, project 4C simple, and there it is. Alrighty, not too bad. Here, one more time. What the heck? Okay, well, yours should look a lot like this. I'm going to go ahead and do a My Scene version of this